Hello, this is Marcus Banks, and this is Sociology. I have three distinguished guests here today, and they would like to introduce themselves.
I'm Bro.
I'm Tyrone.
And I'm Lucas.
We're here to talk about Total Recall, the new film that came out on August 3rd. We all saw it. First of all, what do you guys remember about the movie?
I remember it was really,
It's action-packed.
Oh yeah.
I was going for more like it was kind of bad, but
I thought it was
no,
great.
I liked how they merged, the modern visuals and whatever with the old story of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pretty cool.
I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was action-packed. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cool.
There was some
I thought it was the best movie that I have ever seen.
Well,
that is, everyone has their opinion.
So basically, in 2084, a man named Douglas Quaid is living as a construction worker in a place where the world is split into two colonies, the UFB and the colony. And he has a really appealing wife who works for the UFB, who's seemingly his wife. But he's dissatisfied with his wife, so he goes to this thing called Recall that can give him good memories. And once he goes to Recall, police or something invade, and he gets up and kills all of them. And he has no idea how he got the ability to do so. Then he goes home, tells his wife, and his wife ends up being an agent who works for the UFB trying to kill him. And he's led to understanding that his life is completely different than he thought. So he's on a journey basically to find out who the hell he is, along with a woman who has been haunting his dreams for this entire time. And at the end, he realizes that he's a super beast. I forgot his name, but he's a super beast that has been fighting for the resistance to the UFB, who's trying to take over the world. And at the end, everything's happy because him and Melina get back together and they prevent the UFB from taking over the world. Yay! But there's more to the movie, including the sociological aspect of it. One sociological aspect is race and ethnicity. Guys, what do you guys think of what races were represented in the movie?
I think most of them were, except for Indian. There were I'm talking like East Asian was there.
Who was the Asian?
The coworker.
Coworker was Asian.
Yeah.
There was an Asian coworker.
There was. There were African American.
Was there a Mexican?
African Americans.
There was.
There were no
Mexicans. There were probably I saw some civilians that looked a little.
But there were no main characters who were Mexican.
No main characters.
I mean,
They say any words.
but in the population itself was very worldly. I mean, they had all kinds of different people.
There were black people.
There were
white
black
people.
But not the main characters were. We had black, white.
Yeah, we had black, white.
I'm pretty sure the main characters were entirely white.
There was a black main character.
There was one.
He got shot.
But he got shot though. Black man got
Ooh,
shot.
black man got shot.
Black man.
Wait, who was who?
The Harry
guy.
The guy who betrayed him.
He's like, I'm coming in. To
Yeah.
Yeah. The shooter, damn it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, he wasn't a main. He was
a main
He was a
character.
construction worker.
I mean.
So all
he's
black
a
people can do
valuable
his
part
manual
of-
labor,
he's a
huh?
valuable part
Would you
of
guys-
Douglas's life.
Would you guys agree that the most of the white people were mainly dominant in the film? That they
I would agree. I would agree.
I would
very agree.
I would You would very
I'd
agree.
say the main characters were mostly white. Is what I would say.
I would accord.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, what did you guys think about gender in the movie? I kind of noticed that the guys were mostly tough and they were able to fight and they were just monstrous, while the women were either servile to these men or they were really good at kicking ass, and if they were good at kicking ass, they were attractive.
Yes.
What did you guys make of
I'd
that?
say that they really superimpose the whole attraction
Oh yeah, there were no fat people in this movie.
No fat people.
It's weird,
They were all
what
attractive.
What happened
They
to
were
fat
all
people?
They were all very attractive people.
Yeah.
There is an obesity epidemic that this movie is entirely disregarding.
Yeah.
It should be pointed out that all the main character females in the movie were very attractive.
Would you guys say that this is a tendency for a lot of action movies that we see today?
I would say so, Marcus.
Yes.
It's
yes.
clearly sexist.
Actually, another thing for modern films, I think this one is trying to assimilate with is the idea of a really complex film, mind-boggling, kind of like Inception or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're really going for that. I mean, the story itself kind of explained itself, and it didn't really leave you on the edge, but I think they were trying to make it, mind-blowing.
But I mean,
They
it could have
were
been a
trying.
recall the whole time.
Now, that's an interesting point you bring up, Patrick.
Okay, Rohit.
What do you guys think about social class in the movie? He was a 9-to-5 construction worker. He was very dissatisfied.
And
And it was in 2084. This is something you've seen in America since 1776. How do you guys think about that lasting for such
I
a
think
long
if
time?
if this situation were to occur, it would be very, like the whole biochemical, fallout, whatever the hell it was. If that were to actually happen, then it would be very similar to what they showed in the film. Like the lower class would definitely be like that. I think like it's carried through, like you said, from 1776. That's like something that can't really go away.
Even
If
in
you want rich
2084.
people in society, you need poor people.
Clearly, we should all be communists.
That's a very intriguing point you bring up.
I think that classes are horrible, and we should all be one class of workers.
This movie also showed the government being corrupt.
Yes, I've
So that's
seen.
something-
I was going to ask about that as well. What do you guys think about the power struggle in this movie and how things are set up? And it's split up into 2 colonies, and there's a UFB that runs things, and they still invade other countries. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys make of that?
Well,
Well,
clearly, it
this-
was a very corrupt government.
Well, this reminded
I
me.
think the like civilians and the people in the society were misled a lot. Like they weren't really told the truth a lot, and that's kind of something that people, maybe not in the U.S. feel, but maybe people in other countries currently.
Well, definitely in the U.S. The government never tells us the truth.
Well, that could be subject to opinion, I think.
This is a good example of India in Assam. There's insurgents, and they're trying to rebel against the government. And in this movie, I think that the government was portrayed negatively, and the terrorists, quote unquote, the rebellion, was portrayed as the heroes in the movie, and they're trying to instill peace in the nation, in the 2 cities.
Overall, did you guys enjoy the movie, or did you think that it was just another BS attempt at being a meaningful action movie?
I thought it was the best movie I've ever seen.
Okay. If I had to rate it from 1 to 5, I'd give it a 3.5 because it was a good story, but I mean, it's not something I would watch again, but I mean, it was okay.
I would give it a 4.37. And I say that because there was action, alright, there was comedy, there was good-looking girls, I have to say. And, I mean, I don't know.
And isn't that what they like to do?
In Hollywood, that's what it's about, guys. You gotta have good-looking girls and people watch a movie.
Well, speaking of what Hollywood likes, do you guys think that, very interestingly, this movie had a lot of violence. And usually when there's that much of, if there is as much sex as there is violence in the movie, that movie is guaranteed to be rated R. But this movie has so much violence in it, yet it's only rated PG-13 strictly because there's no bloodshed. Do you guys think that that's an issue? What do you guys make of it only being PG-13?
I mean, there's always going to be that correlational study with like TV violence and like people acting aggressive or whatever, but it is correlational. I mean, I think that like a movie, I guess some people would like a movie better because it's more violent, but that's kind of.
I think the whole rating system in this country is run by movie studios who are extremely corrupt and make it difficult for smaller producers to become
successful.
to become successful. Yeah.
Interesting.
I like
That's
the
a very-
PG-13 rating because you can appeal to young audiences as well as old audiences.
Yeah.
So, I like it.
It's good for production value.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of that, do you guys think that what I came to notice is that World War III is usually depicted as some uninhabited. It's a very popular theme in video games and TV in general.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that this movie was trying to appeal to that popularity or be its own thing?
I'm not sure because I mean I haven't seen the first film, which this one is kind
What
of
was
like a
the first
remake
one?
of, but like that one was back in 1980 something. So like I don't think they're like
290?
okay. So I don't really think that it was like I'm not really sure what the differences are, but if it's completely based off that film, if it's a complete remake, then I don't think they're really trying to like copy the new thoughts or conceptions of what World War III would look like. Yeah.
Well, I think it's very apropos since we all know the world is.
But it is a popular theme. I agree.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that,
Call of
to
Duty.
this era would be a good
Yeah.
time to make a movie like that.
Because the world is clearly ending.
Yeah.
I think their portrayal of the future was correct, but I don't think they were going for the emulation of World War III in
Interesting.
specific.
Interesting. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Distinguished guests.
Thank you, Marcus.
Tyrone.
Thank you very much.
Lucas.
Thank you.
Cameraman, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This has been Sociology with
And thanks
Marcus
for watching.
Banks. And thank you for watching.
Thank you for
We'll-
watching.
We'll see you later.
Thanks.
Thank you.